Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Conversations in the Den. Today we're speaking with Michelle Lewis Harrison in regards to living with MS. Michelle,
Yes.
we would like you just to tell us your story. The questions I would like answered are: what brought you to the doctor? What brought you to get the diagnosis? Like, what were your symptoms previous to being diagnosed?
Oh, okay. What happened
What
was,
led you to going to get diagnosed?
right. Well, what happened was, it was at work. We were on a strike, and I was walking, doing the circuit, saying what we had to say, and then I just felt off. I felt off, and then I started walking, and then I was walking like this, like really, like just dizzy. And I'm like, what's wrong? I went to the doctor, and they said it was vertigo, right? And I had tingling in my hand. I went to vertigo, and the doctor said, no, I went to a walking clinic. He said vertigo. Then I said, no, there's something wrong. You know your body. You have to listen to your body.
Yeah.
And then I went to my doctor, and my doctor was she was asking me, okay, what do you feel? This is before I was diagnosed. I said, well, I just feel, I don't know. I'm just dizzy. I can't walk a straight line, and tingling in my hand. And she asked me, I remember she asked me, she goes, so on work, do you get, if you're off, do you get paid? I was like, what are you trying to say? I said, I'm feeling this way. And I kept on pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And so finally she said, okay, go for an MRI. Went to get an MRI. It was about 2 weeks later. Thank goodness it was only about 2 weeks later after my first symptom. 2 weeks later, I had an MRI, and it came out that I had lesions on my brain. Like, lesion is scarring on my brain, consistent with MS.
So, okay, so my question is, is MS neurological?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Michelle, I'm Jennifer Wolfenden. I'm co-host of the Conversations in the Den. I wanted to ask a question.
I didn't introduce you. I'm sorry.
How old were you when this happened, my dear?
Okay. I think I was 27. I could do the math, but I don't want to because I'm aging myself. Yeah, 27.
Oh, you did last year when you were 25.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so somewhere around there. Yeah, about 27. So I've had it for, my daughter is 22. So I had it for 24 years.
I'm trying to like defer your age, and you're like putting it out there. Like,
You guys can do the math.
So Michelle, were you married at the time? Were you married at the time?
No, at the time, no. I just got engaged. As soon as he found out that I had MS, we got engaged.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. Mm-hmm. That's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. And you're still together?
No.
Okay.
No,
all right.
We're not together anymore.
Yeah, because I think, I feel like when it comes to neurological and brain infractions, I feel like it's really, really hard for us to keep a relationship. Right. It's really hard on us, and it's really hard on the partner. And
yes, it is.
I think we don't see how we've changed, but also they don't understand us anymore because we're a different person. We're different good, but it takes someone else to notice that you're different good or different amazing, because there's a disconnect in understanding what's different about.
Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So I always say it's going to take a hell of a man to be with me after all of this.
Well, you know.
So
and
Michelle,
one of the things I said, Maria, was, after I was already separated from my ex when I had a stroke, Michelle. But I said, I'm going to be in a relationship. And I said, I'll probably be married again. But I said, I will never marry a whole brainer. So I was insistent that the person that I married has to have some sort of brain damage that they can get me. And so,
so they understand where you're coming from.
So any man who's got brain damage looking for a wife, there she is.
because Maria, But you know what I mean, girl. It's like you have these quirks, and you go, nobody's
Okay,
gonna get
but
me.
I think what you really mean to say is somebody with compassion and understanding.
Yeah.
I don't
Exactly.
necessarily believe that they have to be brain damaged.
But
I
see,
think that they have to be compassionate, understanding, and they have to have awareness.
and you're absolutely right. But when you're 2 years into a stroke, and you're kind of going, who gets it? And you're in a room full of people all the time, and they don't. And most of the whole brainers aren't getting it. You kind of go, you know what? I'm never going to marry a whole brainer. They're never going to get it. It's got to be somebody that knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, Michelle. So
Yes.
can I ask you a question? So after you were diagnosed, you were back to work and you were fine. What symptoms did you have? Like, did you carry with you? Like, what symptoms continued?
Well, I got pregnant right away after I got married, like a year later, got pregnant right away. Fine during the pregnancy. It was after the pregnancy that I just started feeling the same, like the
You
weakness in the
carried
legs.
that baby with all that wobbling and everything, and you were fine?
You know what? I wasn't wobbling when I had her. Yeah, it's weird. Like I was fine. I was fine. It's not until after that's when I started just wobbling, and my memory started going, and just forgetting things, and yeah, I was walking unaided.
So
like
memory is an issue of MS.
Oh gosh, yeah, because your brain shrinks, right?
Okay, okay, so I don't know anything about MS, so if you could just clarify to me, like, what the signs and symptoms of MS are?
MS is different with everyone. Like, someone could be sitting there in a room, perfectly normal, and she or he has MS. It's different for everyone. But for me, the symptoms were the tingling in the hands, and the unsteadiness and the weakness in the legs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what about pain and tremors and balance? What about pain and tremor and balance?
See, I'm not having pain. Some people do with MS, but I don't have pain. My balance is awful. Like, if I'm walking, like, you think I was drunk, right? Because I walk so bad. That's why I walk with a cane now. And that has been a couple years now. Yeah.
Michelle, tell me something. How did you tell me about when your daughter was born, and you raising that child and getting worse? The symptoms are now being magnified. As she was born, the symptoms are now being magnified. You're raising her, and the symptoms are being magnified. How was that for you?
When she was just born, like I said, I was fine. Like, I was so in the moment of just having a child. I was, in my glory.
That was her first child.
First and only child.
Yes.
Yeah. So, it wasn't until a few years later. No. Right after I had her, I started like really walking. Like, I keep doing this, but that's how I felt, like just walking, like not in a straight line, And I was tired.
And you said your legs felt weak?
Weak, absolutely weak.
But
and no pain. No, but I didn't feel pain.
Oh, okay.
I didn't feel pain. What other symptoms?
So it was basically balance and
fatigue.
And tiredness. Oh yeah, very tired. That is I think that's a common symptom in MS, tiredness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now, did you go back to work?
Mm-hmm.
So you had now at that time they didn't have a year maternity leave. So
they had 6
how
months.
long were you off for maternity?
6 months.
Okay, so then you went back to work after 6 months.
Mm-hmm. And I was fine for 10 years. I was in remission.
Wow.
I was in remission for 10 years.
Oh.
Yeah. And then it just started getting worse, like, and then that's when my ex and I, we were split up, and we just basically finalized a divorce. I haven't signed the papers yet, but I will soon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so Michelle, you had 10 years with your daughter, raising your daughter with no symptoms.
Yeah, no symptoms. Yeah.
What a blessing.
That's
blessing.
Yeah. So I got to be thankful for that, because I took her to soccer, I took her to gymnastics, ballet, all her sports.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
spend some of the most important years with her.
That's right. That's right. It's only now that like I'm just so tired. Like the walking is awful. You know, my
Now,
legs are just
how are you
so weak.
sleeping at night?
Um, okay. If I don't take something to get me to sleep, I can't.
Okay.
So, Michelle, walk us through a day in the life of Michelle. Getting up. Your fatigue is high. You have
But I fight through it.
sleep is premium. Walk us through a day today. When you get up, how
Okay.
do you decide where you parcel off your energy and what you do first, second, and third? How does that work for you? A day in the life of Michelle.
Okay, day in the life of Michelle, for real. Every day, the first hour, I do my devotions. Then I start my day, shower by myself. I live in the basement, so I go up the stairs, and that's tough. It's tough. I go up the stairs, I come have my breakfast, and I sit down right here on my computer doing my work. I'm a court reporter, right? So I type a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know I was a court reporter?
No, girl, I don't know what you
Okay, I've been a court reporter for 30 years.
Wow.
mean.
That's awesome. 30 years.
30 years, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Since 90, May of 90. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so how do you find focusing when they're all speaking so you can type? Like, is your focusing good?
Yeah, only one person talks at a time. If they don't, the judge will say one person at a time. So that's easy, you know. But
okay.
But I do get distracted, like say if the phone rings or if my daughter's here, like I used to be able to do like 10 things at once.
Yeah,
but now I'm like, okay,
yes.
I can't. I'm like, okay. And some people, I look at some people sometimes like, I don't understand. Like, I'm sure they're looking at me like, what's wrong with you? You know, because I get airy. Brain fog. Brain fog is real with MS. Brain fog is real.
Okay.
So, Michelle, you can only do one thing at a time. You cannot do two things.
Yeah. Well, I do with mistakes, but yeah. Yeah, I can do 10 things at a time, but a lot of mistakes. But
yeah, and you know, and it's the same thing with stroke, especially for myself. I found that I couldn't do two things. I couldn't make a cup of tea and talk to someone else. Right, because that was taking up concentration and energy, and I didn't have enough of either. Right. So if I was making a cup of tea, don't talk to me because I wouldn't remember what I was doing. And if I had to listen to you, don't tell me there's a fire going on behind me because I don't know there's a fire going on behind me. I can't hear anything. I can't smell anything because I'm talking to you, because that's how laser my focus is. Right, is that I can only do one thing. Is that how you felt? Is that how you feel today? Is that you can only do
now? Yeah. Because I can't do multiple things. I really can't.
Okay, so Michelle, can I ask a question? So how old is your daughter now?
21. Okay,
and so she's not home. She's home now because of COVID.
No, but she's going back to school in September, because she stopped going back to school last year. So she's home.
Okay, yeah, so she's in university, but she's home because of COVID.
No, she left school last year and she came back because she didn't want to take the course again. So she's been working 5 minutes from the house. So full time off. Yeah. So she's, about 5 minutes away. But she's so good. Last week, garbage day is on Thursday. And usually she takes it out. I get it ready and she takes it out. So she forgot to take it out on Thursday. Thank goodness she lives so close, because she came home. She asked her boss, "Can I leave? I gotta go home and take out the garbage." So she came home just to take out the garbage. That is, I said, Haley, that is so sweet. I could have done it.
You have a great girl.
I said, I'll do it slow, but I could have done it. But thank you very much. So she understands.
Have a really nice boss.
What a great girl you have. What a huge blessing she is.
Yeah, she is.
So Michelle, tell me about cooking. How do you cook for yourself or your family?
I'm always on a regimented diet, because certain things that, okay, like lately, let me see if I can, lately, okay, I'm going to show you a picture. That's what I'm doing. I been allergic to something, right? And I'm trying to figure out what it was that I'm allergic to, right? And so I'm just waiting for the appointment from the allergist to call me. Sorry, I can't find this picture. You know when you're looking for something, you can't find it?
Of course, of course.
All the time, all the time.
Okay. Like, I don't know if you can see that.
Oh my goodness, is that hives on your face?
Look at my lip.
Oh, and it's swollen. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Is that hives on the side of your eyes too?
Yeah, probably. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I wake up, like, there's hives all over. I don't know. But that's the worst.
Something.
Yeah, that's by far the worst. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm allergic to.
Okay, so you may have to, because right now they may not call you for an allergist appointment at the hospital. They don't really want people going to the hospital right now. So you may have to just be writing down every day what you're eating and see what your reactions are.
Yeah, that's what my doctor said. Yeah. Yeah. Because the night before I woke up with that, the lip, I know I had, like, I have salad every day. I had a salad and I added like nuts to it, like raisins, sesame seed, those kind of nuts. And I had a mango. And my thing is, I pray to God it's not a mango I'm allergic to. Seriously,
that's your favorite thing.
That's it. Like, I could live off of mangoes. So yeah. So right now I'm trying to write everything down and just try to eat clean. I'm trying to eat clean.
So my understanding for brain injuries, neurological, nuts and berries. Nuts and berries are very, very good for our brain.
Oh, okay.
Yes, nuts and berries. So the more nuts and berries you can eat, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And the strawberry season, I think, or is that over now?
So Michelle, can I ask you a personal question?
Go ahead.
And you can say no. Did you have symptoms while you were married and still having sex? How did you manage the symptoms and sex?
Honestly, that was fine. No problem. Absolutely no problem. Like, right now I'm that age, and I about 7 years ago, I had a hysterectomy, right? And they said after that, like, everyone said, oh, your sex life is gone after that. I was just like, oh, really?
I've never heard that, but
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, really? I think I'm the opposite, because, like, seriously, hasn't affected it.
Like, now that I know that I can't get pregnant.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome. Yeah.
So you are sexually active still?
Very, yeah.
Not very.
I shouldn't say. No. I shouldn't say very. No. Yeah, but I am. Yeah.
Good for you, girl. Good for you. So tell me this.
I think a lot of people think, this is one thing I think people always, this is a question I get asked often, from people, when I'm getting involved in a relationship or with people, they always ask me about my sex life. Well, I don't have a problem having sex. I can have sex anytime that I feel in the mood to have sex.
Right,
Just make sure that you put me in the mood to have sex and we're good.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And it does require some calculation of you. I mean, I remember I had to calculate my energy, with my husband. We had to figure out when is the best time to have the greatest sex, because I don't want mediocre sex. So it's always like,
you only want the good stuff. Now, Jen stroke, it was frontal lobe, Jen?
Bottom right. So bottom right brain stroke, massive bottom right brain stroke.
Okay, so what does that mean?
It just means there's a different part of my brain that was affected, which means therefore certain things that are very evident in people with those types of strokes, especially on the right side. One of it is pattern recognition. Like, I don't play games because I don't understand games. I don't understand Dutch Blitz. I don't understand how to play cards anymore. I don't understand how to do a puzzle. My patterning is gone. So that's one of the things. So if you taught me how to knit 300 times in a day, I will still not know how to knit because I don't have any pattern skills. I don't have any multitasking skills. The other thing I don't have a lot of is I don't have face recognition to tie it to feelings. It means, therefore, if someone is talking to me and they're cold, I may not notice that right away because I can be looking at their face, but I don't put together the shivering with your cold. I will keep talking as though we're having a regular conversation. The other thing, and the other thing is with people with those types of stroke is they don't have voice recognition. So you could call me 10 times in a day, Michelle, and you can say, hey, it's Michelle. And I go, hey, Michelle. But the minute you call and say, hey, it's me, I go, who's me? Because I just got off the phone with you, Michelle, but I don't know your voice anymore. So I didn't know, even voices that I was very familiar with, I was no longer familiar with.
Sorry. So Michelle,
yeah, go ahead.
I guess the question I have for you is, which part of your brain has the lesions on it?
I think it's all over. There's no specific part. Because you know what, another thing, I stopped doing MRIs because they want me to do it like once every 2 years. But it's just like, why? I know I have MS. Is it going to get better if I do an MRI? Like, you know, it doesn't affect me. Like, are you going to give me different pills?
One thing I will say to you is that the brain does have the capacity to heal itself. So, and I wish that Angela was on this call. She's in Panama, and I think it's the time difference is causing her to have some issues with her computer. Angela takes CBD oil, and she went from being walking drunken and not being able to walk and do all these things to now being able to jog, because she takes 15 I think she says 15 milligrams, but my memory's not so good. So I think she takes 15 milligrams of CBD oil every day, like under her tongue or whatever.
Right.
And she told me that she said, I'm jogging, but she also moved to Panama. So I don't know if it's the weather.
Oh yeah.
But I think she was living in Vancouver. I think even when she was in Vancouver, she was able to run. So
really?
She's always been a jogger. So
she's back to running. Oh, I would have loved to talk to her.
She takes CBD oil. Now Monique, who's also supposed to be on this call, but I think she's in Nova Scotia still. I think she takes black seed oil.
She takes what? Sorry.
Black seed oil.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. So there's a lot of different things that are natural things that you can use. I don't know if you're on medication.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I'm on Copaxone. It is daily injections. So I take no, it doesn't hurt though. It's like
you saw my reaction, did you?
Yeah, no, that's why I said those kids when they have
diabetes?
Is it diabetes? Yeah, and they take injections. Yeah, it's like that. It's that real. It's a shot. It doesn't hurt. Like really, it's like boop, boop.
You're done.
Boop. Yeah.
And how frequently do you have to do that?
Every day.
Once for the day?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I do it in the morning. You do it in your stomach, leg, or side. Yeah, or arm. Yeah, but I usually do it in my.
What determines where you do it?
How you feel. You can do it where you want, but you're not supposed to do it the same place. But I do it in my stomach because the biggest part of you, the fattiest part, less hurt, less pain, do it in my stomach, boom, Yeah. So, yeah.
Michelle, can I ask a question? What's the hardest thing today that you find living with MS? Like today, what's the hardest thing?
Honestly, the walking. It's the walking. Like if I had the MS and the walking was better, I'd be fine. But since it's the walking, the weakness, my legs were getting weak.
Okay, so we're giving you 3 wishes. 3 things that you could do differently. That you could any 3 wishes you can have. What are your 3 wishes?
MS to eradicate, to be gone. To be gone. Are you talking about my health or just anything?
Anything.
No, we're not talking about the 6'4", 220 guy. We're not talking.
Okay, because I was gonna say, then I want my mortgage to be paid off. Then I find a man. Yeah, but really, just the only thing I want really right now, seriously, is just to eradicate the MS. If I don't do that, get rid of the pain in my legs. Not the pain, the weakness in my legs, and then so I can work out again. You know, like I was never fit, but I like working out.
So, question, what about the rest of your body? Like, it's only affecting your legs, not your arms or anything like that?
It's a good thing it's not my arms. No, I wouldn't be able to type. Yeah. And I was seeing a trainer a few years ago, and I made it wrong. I tripped and I fell, right? And I caught myself from my arms. He's like, okay, we want your arms to be as strong as your legs, you know, because my arms are fine. So if my arms were as strong as my legs, it'd be fine. Yeah, but yeah.
And Michelle, can I ask you one more thing?
Mm-hmm.
You've been working since you were diagnosed.
Mm-hmm, yes.
How did you transition from in the office to working at home?
Well, it wasn't really by choice, because like I said, I'm a court reporter, and I used to have, like, if you go into court, like back in the day, I had a mask over my mouth and I repeat what's going on in the courtroom.
Yes.
And from when I started, they said, they're going to get rid of you guys. They're going to get rid of you guys. They're going to get rid of you guys. You know, it's just to use a high-tech computer, right?
And 30 years later, here you still are.
And 30 years later, you had a choice. You could either work from home, stay in court, and type, still do the same thing, or blah, 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 blah. I don't know what the third one was. The three. So I'm like, stay at home. So it was almost perfect. It was just perfect.
Sorry, question. So are your trials now on Zoom, or like how are you still working?
No, because what they do, they send the disc. They send the discs.
Okay, so you're typing it after the fact.
Yeah. But now, because of COVID, the courts have been closed. Yes. The courts have been closed. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I think I'm down to my second last 2 more cases to type. It's like, but yeah.
Okay.
So, can I ask a last? We're running out of time, Michelle, but I wanted to ask, how are you and socializing? How is socializing with MS? How does that work?
You know what? It's me, not anyone. I don't like going out because I don't want people to watch me. Like, oh, why is she walking like that? You know, it's just me. But
so there's a stigma attached to it.
For me, yeah. Like everyone else, my girlfriends, they're fine, right? But it's me. It's just that I don't want people to look at me and say, what's wrong with her? Why is she walking like that? You know?
Yeah. Do you have friends come into home, or because I know you don't go out a lot, but or you don't go out at all?
I go out now. I go out because of COVID, I stay home more. But yeah. But my girlfriend, they do come here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's better for you. If you feel good about that, them coming home.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And so it seems
would you feel uncomfortable if they took you out with a wheelchair?
Say that again?
If they took you out somewhere and they could put you in a wheelchair, would you be okay with that?
I have a walker. I
understand that.
Yes. So yeah, I'd be fine. Yeah.
But you're just self-conscious yourself. You're self-conscious yourself, Michelle.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I found that when I started my event planning business, that was for people with physical challenges. It was basically, that was my purpose, was to get people who had physical challenges out of the house and into back socializing. You know, because a lot of us are social people. Yeah. And we want to socialize, we want to get out. Now, there are those people who do not want to socialize because they're very self-conscious.
Right.
You know, and they don't want to go through the headache of having to get dressed up and feel that people are watching them and things of that nature. But I think that's something that we have to get over, because the truth of the matter is, we have one life to live, girl.
Yeah.
And we're not here forever. So you got to enjoy it as much as you can while you can.
Yeah, it's so true.
There are so many people now. It's amazing. It's amazing when I speak to people that I'm finding out about people who have so many ailments. You know, whether they're mental ailments like anxiety and depression, or their actual physical ailments. I don't know if you saw our interview last week with Martin Keene.
No.
Who had a brain aneurysm.
Really?
Now, so we have to get to the point where we accept who we are, accept our physical challenges, and just continue living life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think society has work to do. You know, like they have to be able to, and they have to give us space to be that wobbly walker. They've got to give us space to be that person that doesn't remember. They have to give us space to be that person that doesn't have face recognition. They have to give us space to be that person that comprehends slower, you know. And so there's a lot of work to be done in society to accept us. But they're working on it, so I'm happy that they're working on it. And what we're doing here, we're talking about these things so that people look at it and go, hey, you know what? We need to start thinking about how we react to people with physical challenges and with mental challenges.
Right.
You know. But
Jennifer,
yes, my darling.
Sorry, how did your stroke affect you? Like physically? Did it physically? Are you okay physically, like walking?
I can walk. I have weakness on my left side. However, my bottom left quadrant of my eyes, I don't see on my bottom left quadrant. So I have to be careful that there's a small child on my left side on the floor, or a small dog. So I always have to look below. I don't hear on my left side and behind me. So I always put people on my right. And in a meeting, I always sit like this, face forward, and everybody else to my right, so I can hear everybody. And so those are my main challenges. Fatigue, I've got that under control because I know how to manage my energy, and I know how to manage it on any given day, depending on how I sleep. So a day is catered depending on how much sleep I've got. But there are, and sometimes my lungs shut down. So if I'm very focused, my lungs will stop breathing. And so I have to be cognizant of how my body is reacting and know I need to breathe. But those aren't, I mean, they're not huge, but that's what I deal with on a daily basis. From 10 years of 10 years later, that's what's left with me.
10 years. And Maria, how are you affected? I know you said.
Well, I had complete paralysis on my left side because my carotid artery was blocked. So for 6 hours. So there was no blood flow to my brain. So I have the right side of my brain has brain damage. So it affects the opposite side. So my left side has paralysis. So I can move my arm, but I cannot move my fingers at this point. But I train every day. So my legs have gotten stronger, and I'm now able to walk. I walk with a cane outside, but inside I can walk with no cane.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, because I've been working really hard for the last 5 years.
That's good. We got 3 minutes left.
I know, you saw that, eh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, it was wonderful talking to you, and we'll have to revisit this topic again.
Absolutely. Anytime.
When we can get the other girls situated.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, hon.
All right. We'll talk. Nice meeting you guys. Okay.
All right. And thanks everybody for watching. And stay safe out there.
Yes. And I am Jennifer Winifred. Stay open to the miracle of a beautiful life. I did, and it happened for me. Thanks for joining us, Michelle.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.